So today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for growing passion fruits and getting them fruit successfully here in Arizona. So this is the first week of April, and this passion fruit vine, which was planted on the east side of the yard as a small 1 gallon cutting. This 1 gallon cutting has grown from a 6-inch high cutting to roughly, I would say, 1 inch thick diameter trunk to probably about 20 feet or so in length all over this trellis. So there are few tips about how to get them fruit successfully here in Arizona. The first is planting. So plant them in native soil on the east side of the yard and add plenty of compost and mulch on the top and water it as if you are watering a tropical plant, meaning once every couple of times in summer when it's 100 plus here in Arizona, and once every week in rest of the spring and fall months, and then do not water it in December, January, and probably some part of early February when it's cold here in Arizona. Second thing about growing these passion fruit vines is selecting the proper trellis. So the easiest way to do this is get this cattle panel that I have done here and then anchor it with these support bars or rebars on 4 sides, and then all you would do is arrange it in this trellis or arc fashion, and then just tie the rebars together with this tie, the plastic tie, to hold the panel in place, and that will keep your passion fruit vine on this trellis with minimal additional support needed, and it will grab onto that trellis with no problem. The third and the most important thing is when you plant it and let it grow, after about a year it will start producing these small buds, and then these buds, and if you notice, the buds are growing wherever the vine is at least a year old. So give it a year before it starts flowering and then fruiting. And then what you would do is in early spring, so here it's April or late March, you will start seeing some of these flowers opening up. These flowers will stay open for about 8 to 12 hours. So what you would do is come every day, at least once a day, check which flowers are open, and before they go from this state to this state where the flower is already closed, you would come here and you need to pollinate it. So the way to hand pollinate is take one of these parts where it has pollen on it, and if you notice underneath there is this yellow pollen, and then just go around each of these 3 stamens and then hand pollinate it. So if you can hand pollinate, you for sure will have pollination and successful fruiting of the flower. So you would do that on every flower, and you can use more than one of these pollen parts, or you can just use one, but more you pollinate, more successful you would be to get these to fruit and get successful harvest every year. and these are one of the easiest tropical plants that you can grow. And as long as you hand pollinate it and let it grow on a trellis, it's going to definitely fruit, as long as you are watering it right, as well as make sure that it's getting some afternoon shade, because when the temperatures go into 100 plus here in Phoenix, some of these vines will become extremely sensitive to sun, and is the UV part of the sun that they are sensitive to, not as such the sun by itself. So as long as it gets some afternoon shade and you can get plenty of hand pollination, these will be able to fruit for you. I'll update this in another month. So this is April, so by about mid-June to early July, these passion fruit flowers, which have been hand pollinated now, and you can see on every stem there are probably 10-20 buds, and these are all over the vine. So we should expect about 40-50 passion fruits to grow in the next couple of months. And it doesn't take a lot of space, and it's easy to grow this on a trellis. And under the trellis you can even use the area to shade your sensitive plants, or just to sit and enjoy your backyard. So there you go, one of the most easiest tropical plants, and a vine that you can successfully grow, and not only grow but have it produce in abundance here in Phoenix, Arizona.